It's Shrove Tuesday and I'm going to show you how to make crepes. So whisk together 1 egg and 125 ml of milk per person and slowly add it into 50 grams of plain flour. The reason we pour the wet ingredients into the dry instead of just putting the flour in with the milk is that it makes a much smoother batter. So you just pour a little bit of the wet mixture in and whisk it around until it's all smooth, and then keep going until you're all finished. Later on, I'm going to show the adults how to make a peach, blackberry and brandy sauce, but you can put anything that you like on the crepes. Maple syrup, lemon and sugar, Nutella, strawberries, honey, anything you feel like. Shrove Tuesday is the last day before Lent, so we traditionally eat a lot. It's a feasting day before we fast until Easter. I add 25 grams of butter to the crepe mix to stop it sticking in the pan. It's not necessary, but it's just a bit of extra protection to make sure it doesn't stick. Next, heat up a non-stick frying pan and wipe it with a little bit of butter. I always feel like my grandma when I do this. It reminds me of her wiping butter on the pan before she made pancakes for us. Then pour a little bit of batter into the centre of the pan and roll it around just to smooth it out to the edges. Mine are always a little bit rough around the edges, but that doesn't matter. Now you can use a spatula to turn your pancake, or you can try flipping it. The key to flipping a pancake is to pretend to be confident. Pancakes can sense fear, so you can't let them know that you're nervous about it. You just have to go in confidently and give it a good flip. That one was a little bit dodgy, but here's a better one in some slow-mo. Not a bad bit of air on that pancake flip. Next up is the sauce. When you finish the pancakes, just use the same pan. Pop in some butter and brown sugar. Stir it around until it's all melted. It will probably look quite lumpy. That doesn't matter. The first time I did it, it stressed me out because it looked crystallized like this. But that's kind of what it's meant to look like. So don't worry about it looking a little bit weird. Next, just add in your fruit and then stir it through for a couple of minutes until your fruit starts to soften a little bit. Next, we're going to add in the brandy and then set it on fire. So just pour in your brandy and then really quickly use a blowtorch or a match or a lighter or whatever you've got to set it on fire. I don't like putting a spoon or a spatula back in while it's on fire, so just kind of give it a little bit of a shuggle while the flames are going around. They'll die down a little bit, but when you shake, the flames will kind of pop back up. So shaking helps you know when the fire's like definitely out. And once the fire's out, you can add in the rest of your cold butter. That just makes it nice and shiny, having a bit of cold butter added in at the end. It's not necessary. You can put all of the butter in at the start, but I quite like having a nice shiny glossy sauce at the end. So to assemble your pancakes, just put some mascarpone on a crepe and spread it over. I find it quite hard to do it thinly, so I tend to put some mascarpone on every second one quite thick instead of trying to get it too thin on each one. Then put on some of your fruit and syrup. And then if you feel like it, you can fold over your pancakes into halves or quarters. You can try and do it a little bit more neatly than I do it. And then just repeat that process with all of the pancakes and you are good to go.